Today on the DML News Podcast, we have an Ask DML episode. We offered people the opportunity to ask me questions. We've got 20 that are coming in, and my answers, as always, Denny, are all
unfiltered.
Dennis Michael Lynch gives you his word, and he will never let you down. He will always fight for America.
The only one who really puts his money where his mouth is Dennis Michael Lynch.
Hello, I'm Dennis Michael Lynch, and I thank you for joining me today. Across from me is my son, Denny. On the controls is my son, Ryan. And at the very top of the video, you see the link to dmlcbd.com/store, S-T-O-R-E. I got a couple of items in front of me here. I want to tell you how this is going to work. We are not going to be in this location long term, so we're trying to clear out everything that we have. And so we're doing a big, huge, we'll call it a Biomics Sale, where everything that we have in here that's in bulk that we've never sold before, or we sold and we didn't think we had that many, we're going to be loading it up on the store on DML CBD. Every single item, no matter what it is on that store item or that store page that we'll have, is going to be for $10. $10. I'll give you an example of a couple of things that are there. So we have the They Come to America trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, my 3 films. This will be signed by myself and my wife, Mary. We'll personalize it. It's the sale. Then also we have the black visors. You always see I'm always wearing my black visors. We used to sell these, or you did sell them, still sell them for, I think, $25 to $30. They're going to be for $10. The trilogy's for $10. The shirt I've got on, I don't know if you could see it, Ryan, or not. Let's go on Me Direct. I am on Me Direct. The shirt. Proud U.S. citizen. We've got a whole bunch of these in different sizes. This is an extra large. Same thing, $10. We used to sell these for $25, $30. To boot, any item that you buy, you are going to wind up getting a free DML CBD face serum. This is, no joke, the best face serum in the world. I put it on all the time. Nice and smooth, right, Denny? Don't I have nice, smooth skin?
Very smooth. Very nice.
You will get a free bottle of the face serum. Usually costs $50. So in other words, you buy this for $10, I'm going to give you, you're going to get this and this in your package. So it's a no joke. Got to get in there. dmlcbd.com/store.
We'll call it the Biden buyout.
It's the Biden buyout, right? We're getting rid of everything. Okay. So this is not for CBD products, okay? But you will get a free CBD bottle of face serum, $50 value. So anyway, so like in other words, if somebody bought this black hat, Dennis, which is usually $25 plus this 50, so for $10, they're getting what would cost $75. All right.
Say maybe fix the DVD a little, just so that there we go.
The DVD.
Yeah.
So the DVD will be signed by Mary, my wife, and I.
Perfect.
And then so if you buy the DVD for $10, it's 3 DVDs. They Come to America 1, 2, and 3. You're also going to get the bottle of face serum. You buy the shirt, you're going to get a free bottle of the face serum. dmlcbd.com/store. All right, Dennis, what's our first question? And who's it from? Who is getting... Oh, by the way, the people who got questions here today, they are also getting a free bottle.
Oh, yes.
So if you hear your name and we haven't reached out to you, reach out to us. You're getting a free bottle of the DML CBD face serum.
All right. Then the first one is Darlene Thurston. Is it too late to be able to bring our country together so that the government doesn't have power over us and actually work for us?
Well, that's the way the country was designed. That's why it starts with we the people. So there's really 2 different questions there in that one sort of paragraph. Number one is, can we ever bring the country together? I'm going to stick with that one because I think it's more important. In order for this country to be brought back together, I honestly believe that we're going to need a president who is an independent. I think the country is thirsty for a third party. I really do. I think the Democrats and the Republicans are so divided that it is literally impossible at this point to bring anyone together. So you need that person in the middle that's going to say, hey, I'm not part of the left. I'm not part of the right in terms of association with party. I'm an American. I'm down the middle. I'm an independent. Let's bring it together. I think that is what would honestly bring the country together again.
All right. Next one is from Ginger Farino Rathgeb. I'm always getting inundated with mail and messages on my phone about donating to Trump, Ted Cruz, and other politicians. What are your thoughts on donating to them?
I don't like the way that donations work in this country. There's a group called Citizens United, and they wound up having a landmark decision go in their favor from the Supreme Court that allows unlimited amount of corporate funds to be placed into PACs, political action committees. And therefore, I find it ridiculous that, John Q, America, he wants to put $1 forward to support his candidate. That dollar, come on, how far is that dollar really going to go when you've got, millions upon millions of dollars of corporate interest money going into campaigns? So the first thing that has to be done is we need to strip away Citizens United and make it to where whether you are a person, individual, or whether you're a corporation or a special interest group, everybody has the same level of money that you can put up, a maximum. Let's call it $2,500. Past $2,500, you can't put anything else in there. That puts people, what I believe, on an equal playing field. That's number one. But number two is, I don't like where these campaigns spend their money. I mean, you're donating money. In Trump's case, you're donating money, and a lot of it's being used for his legal defense. Other people, you're donating money. I mean, there's laws right now, Dennis, that bothers me big time. Let me tell you what we could do legally if we wanted to right now. You have your own company, and you're an independent contractor for me right now. And this is the truth. Dennis is an independent contractor for my company, Team DML. And I pay him as an independent contractor to participate in this. He could go out and get other customers if he wants to do it. It's up to him. I could run for office tomorrow. Let's just call it the governor of Florida. And I can hire Dennis to run all my social media advertising. And it wouldn't be unreasonable because we're a social media company. If I wound up raising $100 million, and the way that most of these companies work is that they take a percentage of the spend. So let's say, for instance, Dennis is going to charge 10% of the spend for the advertising spend. He's going to handle all of it. I have just basically funneled $10 million to Dennis legally. Legally. Now, to take that a step further, if I really wanted to have it more to my own pocket, I could set up my wife, Mary's Advertising LLC, and I could have her do all of the work for me. And then, therefore, I'm really putting $10 million into my own pocket because she's my wife.
Right.
This is a legal thing. So to that extent, I don't like the idea of donating. I think the craziness in all this is that somehow it's become the candidate who raises more money is the candidate who's going to win. And it's just ridiculous. So I'd like to see where everybody puts in the same dollar amount and that's it. But as far as I'm concerned, I did donate, full disclosure, I donated $100 to Ron DeSantis for his run for governor. Right. And that was it.
All right. Deborah Smith, what is your biggest pet peeve? What annoys you the most?
Oh, my goodness. My wife's snoring, but that's on a personal note. My biggest pet peeve. Oh God, I don't know. You think that's question is from a political standpoint? I got a better thing. Why don't we let you answer? What do you think? I mean, we're together all the time. Same thing with you, Ryan. What do you think my biggest pet peeve is?
Being interrupted.
Being interrupted.
I know you do not like being interrupted.
I hate being interrupted.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I can't stand is I hate it when I'm disrespected.
Well, yes.
I mean, that's my kryptonite. When somebody disrespects me, you'll get me every time.
Right.
Yeah. What would you say, Ryan?
Hello? Okay. All right. I can hear. Disrespect's a good one. What'd you say, Denny? You said
him getting interrupted.
That's a good one. Anything that takes too long.
Yes.
You're very impatient. I don't know if that's an insult.
Better go to dmlcbd.com/store now. Don't piss me off.
Well, not impatient, more so, you will get impatient for something that shouldn't have to take so long.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So
better.
like if
So incompetence.
like when you were purchasing houses or boats, it's always a process, and it's like, okay, I wish I could speed it along, but it is what it is. But if like you're at a restaurant and they're known for always being timely, and then all of a sudden on a very maybe important dinner they decide to be as delayed as possible, you will get annoyed.
yeah, I
there's no
agree.
doubt
Keep your
there.
microphone on, Ryan. We might pull you in a couple more times. Go ahead. What's the next one? No,
Mm,
the next question.
oh, so I started to think of more pet peeves.
Then he's got a long list, I'm sure.
We'll save that for a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from Kenny Camp.
Okay, I know
Great
that.
Team
I
DML
know that
member.
name. Yeah.
Being a 75-year-old Air Force veteran, I constantly am concerned on how I would survive on nothing more than Social Security. Do you feel, in your opinion, that the government will ever return a livable Social Security payment to those of us that depend on it to survive?
That is a fantastic question. And I have a very depressing answer for him. I wish I could give a different sort of answer, but I can't. I don't believe that, well, I guess I have to go based on who wins the election. Let's assume for the moment that Kamala Harris wins the election. And let's assume for the moment that she gets both the House and the Senate. I believe she's going to put an amnesty in place because that's the guarantee that a Republican will never win another election. If she gives amnesty to 50 million illegal aliens, they're all going to come out of the wood. They're all coming out. They're all going to say, I want to be a citizen simply because I get the benefits. That means that all these people will be eligible for Social Security. It's impossible. It's an impossible mathematical equation because there's not enough Social Security money right now for the people who have paid into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, I'm 55. I'm not far away from being able to collect Social Security. I may get my hands on some of it. I don't think you'll ever see any Social Security. So your Social Security, believe it or not, will be when I die, right? Because you'll get my, you'll inherit whatever I have. So if Donald J. Trump wins, he's not going to give an amnesty. But the question becomes, will he ever be able to truly deport the people who are here? And I don't think with 4 years, and that's all he gets, he'll ever have a chance to do that. I don't know who wins or who doesn't win after he's done. I don't know enough about J.D. Vance, whether or not he would do mass deportation the way I would. But for as long as you have the illegal aliens who are here and they have the ability to collect, I don't believe Social Security will ever, ever be fixed. I think it would be a thing of the past, to be quite honest with you, which will put more emphasis on you must save your money earlier in your life, which is almost impossible to do, especially when you have the kind of inflation and cost of living that we have here in the United States. I have always said the most difficult thing for a U.S. citizen is to be a U.S. citizen because it's so damn costly.
Yep. Next one is from Corey Van Tassel, another great Team DML member. If Trump wins the presidency, which he sure should, you have said he can't pardon the charges he has against him. Not saying it would be a good idea or not, but is there any executive order he could sign to dismiss them?
I'm not a lawyer, so I'm probably not the right guy to ask this question to. However, I would go along with lines of nobody who is a lawyer, these constitutional lawyers you always see on television, nobody has ever referenced that he would be able to write an executive order to get himself out. So my answer is going to be based on not hearing anybody give that sort of solution. I'm going to go based on it doesn't exist. So he cannot pardon himself. That would have to be the state of New York. The governor would have to pardon him. There's no way Kathy Hochul is ever going to do that. It's political suicide for her to do it. But ultimately, I think the courts, if he does win, the courts will absolutely give him a pass because he's the president of the United States. He has to be able to run the country. The issue is when he runs the country for 4 years, he cannot run again. So at the age of 82, 83, it would come back to him, and theoretically, he would serve out the rest of his life in jail. It's crazy.
Next one is from Mike Vale. Do you think President Trump will be able to dismantle all these alphabet agencies and their unelected bureaucrats who think they are above the law? And if so, should he do it on day one?
I don't think every one of the 3-letter agencies has to go away. I mean, do I think that we need the Department of Education? I do not. I think it's fine to just leave that to the states. Do we need the CDC? I don't think we need the CDC. I think we could leave that to the medical, private medical health industry. Do I think we need the FBI? I do. Do we need the FBI operating the way it's been operating? We don't. So I think some of the large government apparatus that we have in place right now can be completely eliminated. I think other parts of it just needs to be cleaned up and shrunk, if you will. Do I think he's going to do that on day one? I think day one, if Trump gets into office, I think J.D. Vance may have been a strategic pick in the sense that he says to J.D. Vance, I want you to go operate and get everything done that needs to be done with that border right now. I want you to work and get everything we need to get done with our military to strengthen it again. I got some other work to do. And I think Trump is going to absolutely 100% go after those agencies. And I think he's going to go after his foes.
All right.
Yeah.
Kathleen Mackin. If offered your choice of any position in a Trump-Vance administration, what would you choose?
Based on my last answer, I would want to do Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, that would be my choice.
There's no doubt. I mean, if you have a president and a vice president who's going to fully support you in your job, then I think I would know how to run that pretty damn well. I mean, that border would be secured, and I'd have people being deported like you've never seen before.
Donna Delano Long. How do you feel about asking all of your followers who believe in God to pray the same prayer on the same day at the same time to ask favor from our Lord in regards to what is happening in our country?
I think I understand the question. I don't know if it needs to be all at the same time. I mean, I don't know if we all have to stop at 12 o'clock today and say the Our Father. I know I start my day off every single day with prayers to God. I thank God for everything. I'll kind of give you what I say in a nutshell. And then I go into longer personal stuff. But I always say, God, I would be nothing without you, and I'm everything because of you. I would have nothing without you, and I have everything I have because of you. I ask for my sins to be forgiven, and I pray for my family, my friends, my followers, and even my foes. And then I do the Our Father. I think if everybody did something similar to that, and really, really prayed, not for the sense of just getting through the, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and just doing the Our Father. If you really prayed to God, and everybody was a little bit more grounded and a little more humble, then I think we would have a much better country. But I'm not going to dictate when people should be praying and when they shouldn't be praying.
Mm-hmm. Debbie Rodriguez. Do you believe Donald Trump will be able to end the wars immediately if and when he is elected?
Well, I guess the two wars that she's talking about is the war between Israel and Hamas, and then the second war, obviously, between Russia and Ukraine. If those are the two she's talking about, I think that Trump would have an absolute 100% success rate with Ukraine and Russia. I think what happens is, well, I'll do it this way. I'll speak for myself. If it were me, I would sit down with Xi Jinping, because I know that at the end of the day, he's the one who's pulling the strings on this whole thing. And I tell Xi Jinping that I'm not bluffing. And if he thinks I'm bluffing, he doesn't get a second chance at this. He gets one chance. You call up Vladimir Putin and tell him to stop with Ukraine. And I will call up Zelensky and I will say, stop with Russia. And the two of us will get this stuff to end. Russia will go about its business and Ukraine will go about its business. We'll rebuild Ukraine. And that's the way it's got to be. If you don't do that, Xi Jinping, I'm looking at you as a co-conspirator. And therefore, I'm not doing business with you anymore. The days of us buying things from China are done. And the days of us paying back the debt we owe to you is finished. And I don't care where my rating goes, because at the end of the day, I'm the United States of America and I still dictate the world and the way it works. And I think everybody's going to stick behind me. So I think Xi Jinping comes to terms with that. And I think that Vladimir Putin does stop. If he doesn't stop, I think he just winds up getting crushed by China and the United States with unbelievable sanctions. The question you could ask is, well, he's got more nukes than anybody else. Does he start pulling them off? And I think that he would be very stupid to do that because he would be obliterated. I mean, they'd be done. As far as Israel and Hamas, and really, if you connect the dots, it's Iran. Iran, I choked them by the neck. It's really what it is. I put in sanctions like they've never seen before in their lifetime. And I am supporting Israel 100% because at the end of the day, they are subjected to terrorism. And I am a proponent of ending terrorism. And I think the Islamic terrorists in this world are destroying it. So to that end, there's another part of me that says, why here in the United States do I have the Jews voting Democrat? And so there's a part of me that says, you keep on voting Democrat, sooner or later, you're going to wind up getting, you're going to get yourself into a pickle because the Republicans who you need are going to wind up turning their back on you. So hopefully we could get peace in the Middle East. But at the end of the day, I don't think it would, I don't think any president can end that war because the Islamic faith is so strong in its belief that Israel has to be wiped off the face of the earth. The best you could do is just keep on protecting it.
Michael Basco de Lille. Is the consideration of running for governor still in your playbook?
Unfortunately, it's not. And it's only because of one reason, because you have to be a resident of a state for 7 years here in Florida in order to run for governor. And by the time that election comes up, I only hit 6 years. So it is literally impossible for me to run for governor. And it would be impossible for me to run for governor as a young man because I still feel at 55 I'm young. So if you add on all those years, I would pretty much be in my mid-60s. And I don't know at that point in my life if I want to be running for a governorship. So unfortunately, the answer is I won't be doing it.
Paula Glissini. Why do the Dems always make it sound like, quote, all the wealthy people have all the money, and that is why there is none left for everyone else, quote. This mindset has always bugged me.
Can you read that again? It's a little bit confusing.
Why do the Dems always make it sound like all the wealthy people have all the money, and that is why there is none left for everyone else?
Oh, that's just insane. That's I mean, if the Democrats, if that's the way the Democrats talk all the time, and I guess they do, because they always say that they're the wealthy need to pay their fair share. That's how they say it. And somebody may say I'm biased in this, but I came from very, very, very poor beginnings. My father ran out on us, and my mother was a waitress working 2 shifts a day. And I was what you would call back in those days a latchkey kid. I had to quit some of my high school sports programs because I had to go out and work in order to have any money in my pocket and try to help whichever way I could with my mom and, getting my own first car and things of that nature. So I know what it's like not to have any money, and I know what it's like to have money. And one thing is for certain, when I have more money, people have more jobs. When I have more money, you guys get paid more money, right? So if it weren't for the people who are entrepreneurial, if it wasn't for the people who do have money, who want to invest and build and expand and explore, the people who don't want to do that, but who do want to work, wouldn't have any money at all. And so the fact that you want to tax for success, you get penalized for success, is insane. It's insane. That's why we have less entrepreneurship in this country year after year after year. The numbers of new entrepreneurs always go down because the threshold, the lines to have to cross over in order to start a business and get it ramped up and launched is astronomical. They've made it too difficult. Then on top of that, I mean, look, I've said this 10 times over, and I'll tell the crew here that's listening right now. If Kamala Harris somehow pulls off a magic trick, I think I will start my retirement. There's no doubt. It doesn't make sense for me to work because she is going to tax me like there's no tomorrow. So, I mean, unrealized gains, I mean, where does it make any sense for anybody to invest? It doesn't. So why am I going to work my ass off? So this way I could give my money over to Kamala so she could give my money to Zelensky and to other countries. It makes no sense whatsoever. So the Democrats are basically anti-business, anti-growth, anti-capitalism, and therefore anti-America. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they say that all the time, but it's not true. Without people of wealth, the people in the middle and the people at the bottom would not have jobs. It's that simple.
Pam Reyes. My middle school aged daughter is terrified of going to school every morning due to the recent school shootings. As a parent, how do you address these real concerns? Please make your school shooting documentary. Thank you.
I'll go in reverse. I am telling you, as guaranteed that the sun will rise tomorrow in the east, I am making that documentary. I've already started. It's in fact, yesterday you were going to go on my computer. I was in a panic because I got all things all lined up on my computer. So there's no doubt that I'm going to be making a school shooting film, no doubt. And I think it will probably be the best work I ever do because I've learned so much about this topic and I've learned so much about how to make a good film. So I think it will be amazing. My biggest problem will be distribution because nobody wants to hear the truth on this kind of thing. As far as what it is I do, I mean, you know, I don't sit there with Kelly because my daughter Kelly is a junior. I don't sit there every single day and tell her, "Don't worry, honey, there's not going to be a shooter today." You know, you just have to hope for the best and plan for the worst. And I know her school has a lot of security outside of it. It's got a booth. But still, to this day, I'm concerned about whether or not some kid takes in a weapon into the school. And in fact, I don't like the fact that my daughter goes to a private school, and the private school now has started to open up the doors to the kids who can't afford to go there. Now, that may sound nasty and mean on my behalf, but these kids are from the other side of town. And I say to myself, they're coming from a culture that's different than mine, and I don't like it. And we've already had a couple of problems. We've had to kick kids out from those programs that were, you know, including these kids. We've had to kick them out for reasons that she's bringing up. So it's something that keeps me on edge every single day, all the time. But look, at the end of the day, there's nothing parents can do other than take the kid to homeschool. And my kid doesn't want to do that. So it's the same thing like, you know, when you and your brother, when you guys first started driving. I mean, you know, there were a couple of nights you didn't even know. I followed you just to see if you were driving too fast, where you were going, making sure you weren't going to a bar and drinking and driving. I mean, these are things that, you know, parents have to worry about. And, but it's part of life. You know, it's just simply part of life. Not a great answer on my behalf, I'll admit.
Next one is from Douglas Molson.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of methods of accountability have we put into place to avoid what many of us feel is the widespread cheating and lack of accountability to confirm voting fraud? Is there any methods?
No. When I look at Lara Trump, and I'm happy she's in the spot, what she's done is she's gotten a lot of volunteers. She's gotten a lot of lawyers lined up. But we had, what was the woman, what's her name again? Catherine Eldridge? From
Engelbrecht.
Catherine Engelbrecht from True the Vote.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her this exact question, and her answer to us was very depressing. It was, no, there's not a whole lot I see. So I don't think the Republicans or the Trump campaign have taken this seriously enough. That's one of the reasons why I wanted Ron DeSantis. You know, when Ron DeSantis was here in Florida running for governor on his second term, he knew that there was going to be people who wanted to play shenanigans. And he took, and I don't know every single one of them, but he took a lot of steps to ensure that the election would be solid. It wouldn't be cheated, no cheating. He got rid of people who were notoriously cheaters that were working in the election system. He fired them, he got rid of them, and he won by 20 points. So I knew he was going to take something like that very seriously with him if he did run for office, if he would have gotten there. It's another reason why I wanted him to be picked as vice president, even though it would have been hard to do because Trump changed where he lived to Mar-a-Lago. So that said, I don't see what Lara Trump and the GOP and RNC are doing to make any improvements in this. I mean, have you heard anything?
You know, she kind of is going based on the volunteers as well as having the lawsuits at the ready, and she's trying to hire poll watchers, but it sounds like she has more ambition than what she can do with action. I mean, the whole theme sounds like she's got more of her hands tied rather than being able to just have full leeway on it.
Lawsuits at the ready sounds to me like, you know, the lawyers are going to chase the ambulance. You know, we need to get in front of the problem. We need preventive medicine instead of treatment medicine, right?
From what I can tell, she's doing just fine in those red states, but the blue ones are the ones where she is a little bit on that.
I wish I could say I didn't think cheating was going to take place, but I don't feel good about it, to be quite honest with you. I just hoping that so many people show up to vote that the cheating would have to be supersonic in order for them to win. What's the next question?
From Sharon Diane.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances of Harris winning the presidency? Last election, Trump was a definite win, but we know how that turned out. Also, I distinctly remember you saying a few years ago that Trump should not run for president again because he will not win.
Mm-hmm.
What made you change your mind?
Well, look, I'm not going to deny it. When this whole thing started, I wanted Ron DeSantis for the exact reason that I didn't think Trump could win because too many people hate him. Look what's happening. They tried to kill him already twice. So my fear is that there will be cheating, and the cheating is that these people will do anything they can to keep him out of office. I don't think these people go down the cheating route as deep as they go down for Trump if it were DeSantis. That being said, I've also said along the way that I didn't care if it was DeSantis or Trump. I was going to support either guy. I didn't want anybody else other than those two people. So I'm hopeful that Trump is going to be able to pull it off. I pray that he's going to be able to pull it off. But in the back of my mind, I feel as if 2024 could be the same thing as the 2020 election. But look, I don't have enough inside baseball to give the answers to that. I can only go on my hunch. But yeah, I mean, if it were up to me, Ron DeSantis would be the candidate right now, not Donald J. Trump. Not because I don't like Trump, not because I don't think he's good, but I just think that DeSantis would have been better and not had to go against the things that we're seeing Trump go up against.
Jeanette Tonnen, also a great Team DML member.
Yes, I know that.
DML, do you see yourself running for office in the future? And do you think one of your children will also aspire to that as well in the future?
I'm going to let my children start off by answering that for themselves. So what
For you or for
no,
me?
for you.
Oh, not a snowball's chance in this. If things are the way they are now, I'm sorry, I will never be a rep, a senator, a president. I have my reasons, but that's a whole nother podcast. So,
well, if you had to just give one reason why you would never do it.
Well, we just kind of talked about. I think until there is unmatched integrity in our election system, I think there are a lot of people who go into running for office with pure ambitions. And then whether it's a lobbyist or another politician or a certain voting bloc or a certain group that kind of gets into your pockets and into your mind, it's too corrupting to the soul. I think there's other ways to just kind of like how Catherine Engelbrecht, starts an organization and then she's doing it from that kind of ground level. I think there could be more to get done in positions like that rather than being elected to something and then being, having to abide by other people rather than your actual voters. So I know it's a little bit lengthy. I just don't foresee that in my future.
What about you there, young man?
I don't see running for anything in my future either. I guess my reason behind that is the targeting aspect. Like, if they can do this to Trump now, I don't think they're going to stop. The Pandora box has kind of been opened. So I don't think they're going to stop with Donald Trump, be it he wins or not. So like Denny said, I think there's, you can make more of an impact like this show, for example, where you can lead people in the right direction instead of having to be into the fray.
It's funny you say this because I love this question because last night your mother and I were watching Fox. She just, actually, your mother and I, Ryan got us started we're watching old episodes of House. I don't know how that happened, but now I'm watching old episodes of House. I love that show, by the way. And it's funny because when Ryan came over the house, he put it on, and I said, "What are you watching?" He goes, "House," the medical show that was back from it was so popular for 8 seasons. I said, "Turn that crap off." And meanwhile, I sat down next to him and I watched the whole thing. And now your mom and I are watching every season. But before we put it on, she goes, "Oh, let's just put on Fox real quick." And Don Jr. was on with Jesse Waters. And I sat there and I was saying to myself, which one of my 2 sons would be Don Jr. getting up on the television and champion for me? So let me go back to you. I'm going to ask the question to you. Do you see a chance in my lifetime where you think that I would run for an office?
No.
You don't think so?
I think you ultimately can get more work done in this position in growing Team DML rather than, being in a position where, again, you a great politician who is going against everything I'm saying right now is the man on the screen is Ron DeSantis. He has done a lot of good. But I think a lot of the BS that he has to deal with and then get his hands tied up with, I mean, he's even dealing with, I was just talking about it before the show. Do we get more golf courses and pickleball courses, or do we preserve some of our natural reservations here in Florida? Like, he deals with a lot that I think maybe if he wasn't elected, he could do more with. So if you obviously went to go run for something, we all would support you. I just think more people are able to get things done or more accomplished rather than having to be beholden to an elected seat.
What about you, Ryan? Do you think I will wind up running for something?
I think you have aspirations too, but I don't think you would in the end. At the end,
Really?
because of all the yeah. I mean, what happens if you get elected and you don't have the House or the Senate in your state? You're dealing with
Yeah.
all that. Just I don't know. I don't see you wanting to deal with pickleball courts and all that. There's a lot to it that I know you would probably not want to have to deal with. So
I don't know. You see, in my mind, I think I will, because like one of the reasons that I haven't and don't is because I still got Kelly in high school. So I want to see all you guys, get through school, start your families, be settled in, and then I don't have the responsibility anymore. And once those responsibilities are out, my concern is that I will wind up becoming very bored, and I'll want to do something. And I'm also the kind of guy, I don't want to have regrets. And when I look back at my life, I wish I would have, there's a lot of things I wish I would have gone through without quitting or saying, I can't do this, or this is over my head. I mean, playing baseball was one of them. I still wish to this day, 2016, I would have kept on going. But I don't know. I think one of these days you will see me say, I got to do it. That's true. That's me being true.
well, you will age. What do you
And look,
age double as fast when you're in a elected?
Ready to rephrase it, if I was a liberal shill that loved having the celebrity endorsements and would say whatever I can to get elected, then I should be throwing my name into a ballot selection box tomorrow. But the truth is, and we say it every day on the show, the integrity of that, and even the integrity of the media, imagine the lambasting attacks they would have on you just by saying I'm considering it. It's you got to question the worth of it, especially if things go in a direction that continues to get worse in that regard. So,
Well, I'll make an argument on what you're saying there, right? So I'll ask Ryan on this question. Ryan, do you see any scenario where I would not try to defend and protect my kids?
No.
Okay. So how, and I'm sure you agree with that. So how can I sit here and say that I would protect you guys no matter what and not run for office, knowing the fact that maybe somebody like myself could be the difference between protecting your future and my grandkids when they come around future versus just sitting back and doing nothing?
I think what we're saying is you don't have to be in office to make an impact. Like that movie, for example, What Is a Woman, had a huge impact and showed a lot.
But I disagree with you.
Things in other
I disagree.
Look at one of the most impactful people who's not elected to anything is Elon Musk. We wouldn't even be able to talk about a lot of this stuff that we learn.
But why is Elon Musk so powerful? Because he's going to be the first trillionaire. I can tell you that.
Well, he's a businessman.
Yes, but he's a businessman. Look, I think I'm a good businessman, but he goes beyond me. He created PayPal. He created Tesla. He created SpaceX. He's now bought Twitter. He dedicates himself so much to his businesses. I would never want to do that. I mean, I don't know when this guy has time to breathe. He's been married multiple different times. I don't want to do that. I like my business. I like my small business. I've always kept my businesses small because I don't want droves of employees and stuff of that nature. So I don't know. I mean, we're going too long into this answer here, but I would say that for me, at some point, if I can see you guys are stabilized and could go on without me, and I still have, some health and spry in my step, if you will, I probably would do it. Right now, I wouldn't do it because I'd say I have just too much to lose. I just have too much to lose. It's tough, man, because if you look at it, you got God, country, family, right? And so you got to put God first because without God, there would be none of us. But it's like, who am I going to fight for more, my family or my country? And I think a lot of people used to always put country first It's hard to put country now when you see what it is that our country has become. So it's sort of a toss-up, you know? And so I don't know. It's a very difficult one. It's one I think about every single day. I mean, look at that. I'm talking about, I just watched Fox News last night for 5 minutes, and I'm seeing Don Jr. I'm not even listening to what he's talking about. I'm saying, oh, wow, if I was running for president, which one of my kids would want to be up there talking about it? So anyway, interesting. Probably could do a whole podcast on this one. What's the next question?
From Kelly Hull, what do you think could bring our country together as a nation besides a tragic event? I know exactly what.
Well, I think we just talked about this earlier in another thing. I think we need an independent candidate. I don't think until we have somebody who's independent, the other side is always going to feel as if they lost something. So if the Republicans win, the Democrats feel like they lost something. The Democrats win, they feel like they lost something. So there's an automatic division there. I mean, look, there's an old thing in business, right? If both people walk away from a deal pissed off or happy, you know they both won. If one side walks away happy and one side walks away pissed off, there's going to be division. So both sides have to win or both sides have to lose in a deal. So I don't see the country coming together until you have somebody from the middle who represents the middle and says poo-poo to the left and to the right in terms of the Republicans and the Democrats. That to me is what it is. What say you on that?
The country literally being invaded.
Invaded?
Although that could probably
haven't we already been invaded?
No. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, yes. But I'm saying, like,
I think we already are invaded. Are we not, Ryan?
We need a Red Dawn situation.
I mean, come on. We got more people driving around without driver's licenses, taking all the jobs from Americans. All the job growth has come to illegal aliens. We've already been invaded. But if you're talking about somebody coming into this country with guns and stuff, they're not going to do that. Those days are over. Now it's all drones and missiles. So that's going to be too late. That's finger pointing. So, all right, next question.
Cheryl Drenksfit. What is the best question to ask a person who continues to vote Democratic and ignores the statistics, but they just do it because they hate Trump?
What the fuck is wrong with you? That's the best question. What are you having for breakfast, man? We need to change stuff up. What are they putting in your Fruit Loops, Fruity?
For real.
What's the best question? Best question, seriously, after you get past that one is, how much money do you have in the bank? And then when they answer the question, how much money did you have in the bank under Trump? And if they could be this much honest, there you go.
Ferdy Castle. Dennis, I'll ask straight up. Do you believe someone in Trump's inner circle is dirty? There have been 2 attempts on his life, the last during an impromptu, unannounced golf outing. Coincidence is one thing, ...
Oh, I absolutely think. I think there's more than one. Look, Trump is really good at a lot of stuff, and he's really bad at other stuff. And one of the things he's really bad at is surrounding himself with the right people. I think his boys are great. They're great defenders of him, but they're also running his company. So they can't be there all the time. So the people that he has around him, I mean, I talked about Citizens United before, right? David Bossie is the guy who leads that. That was one of Trump's main dudes. That guy is garbage, all right? I mean, look, Michael Cohen, that's who Trump picked for his lawyer. I mean, so he always picks bad people all the time. He always picks the worst people. So to that note, I think that there are people within his circle who want to see his demise. And that's what the other team is going to do, by the way. They're going to stage people and put them in there.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do. Go ahead. We almost done?
Last question.
Okay.
I already kind of... All right. Jennifer Sweetman, will you consider a presidential run in 2028?
I would say yes. Leave it at that.
Last question from me.
Yeah.
What are we doing for Thanksgiving?
Ryan, what are we doing for Thanksgiving? Well, it just so turns out to be, I don't know why you asked me that question. Maybe a little birdie flew into your ear, but this morning before we came in here, I was with your sister and I said, Ash, by the way, tonight we have to get together and talk about Thanksgiving because we always usually do that around now. We got about 2 months until we have Thanksgiving, right? So we always do something because we don't stay at home. We don't really have a lot of family here, any family here at all. And you know what Ashley told me today? First time I've ever heard this. Dad, I don't think I'm going to be home for Thanksgiving. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, why? She says, well, because I'm going to spend it with Brendan's family this year. I knew it was going to hit me sooner or later. The bomb was going to hit me sooner or later, Dennis. So now my daughter is going to go spend Thanksgiving with the other team instead of us. So what we're going to do to rub it into Ashley is we're going to go somewhere freaking awesome. I am going to break the wallet. We're going somewhere awesome for Thanksgiving. But then she said to me, well, Dad, for Christmas, I'll be with you. For Christmas, we'll just stay home.
Or we could collude.
I got to punish her somehow, man.
We could collude and invite them over. Like, invite,
What about they invite me? Why do I always have to be the person to invite everybody?
I don't know.
Our house is bigger? Is that what you're going to tell me? No way, man. We got to teach
I
Ashley.
cook better.
Ryan, we got to teach Ashley a lesson. All right? Don't you agree with me, Dennis?
But I would be down to go somewhere.
We need to teach. I mean, Katie's coming to us for Thanksgiving, right?
Then he might be out too.
What? Are you shitting me?
Well,
Where are you going?
no, actually, this kind of works.
What?
See, I'm single, so I'll be with you, Dad.
What are we doing?
We might be going to her family's. However, the exception was that we're not if we are going somewhere. So if we were staying home base in Florida, I'd be going there. But if you have a trip lined up, we would be coming on the trip.
Do you believe this? Do you believe this shit, Ryan? So wait a
We
second.
have to
If
cut
I'm
this.
gonna rip out the do-re me.
No.
If I'm gonna rip out somewhere good, then it's gonna be like, oh, we don't want to miss Dad's vacation. So we'll go. But if I don't do it, if I just do something small at home, he's gonna go run off to where? Pennsylvania? He's gonna go run off to Pennsylvania. So you know what? You're not invited to Thanksgiving. Ryan and I, dude, me, you, your younger sister, and Mom, 4 of us. You know where we're gonna go for? You know where we're gonna go? We're gonna go somewhere great. We're not telling you where we're going.
Italy.
You want to go to Italy?
Let's
It's going to
go
be a
to
little cold.
Italy.
Maybe we'll go to Hawaii. You want to go to Hawaii for Thanksgiving? We'll go to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. That's my answer. That's my answer, Dennis. We're going to Hawaii. You're going to Pennsylvania.
I'll explain it more after the podcast.
No. There's no explanations. All right. DMLCBD.com/store. I need you to pay for my trip on Thanksgiving, please. Not that $10 is going to get me very far, but DMLCBD.com/store. The deal is, we're going to have a bunch of items up there. The black visor that you always see me wearing. The trilogy. We only got about 20 of these things left in stock. The shirts. Proud to be a U.S. citizen. And every single one that I only use this as a... All right. Every single item that's up there comes with a free bottle of DML CBD face serum. It is the best face serum in the world. The reason why I'm able to give this away is because my charity, the DML Foundation, is sponsoring it. So if you go in and buy this for $10, every item on the store is $10. You buy the shirt for $10, you get in the shirt, which we were selling for $30, and the face serum worth $50. So you buy the trilogy. We're going to have that signed for you by Mary and I. You get this, plus you get this for free. It's a no-brainer. So it's first come, first serve, because there's not a lot of stuff. We're going to keep on adding to the stuff to the store until everything we have here in the warehouse is gone. And again, this is not the CBD stuff for $10. This is different things that we've had here over the course of time where we haven't sold out or we found a box of extra stuff or whatever it may be. Every item is $10, and every purchase you make comes with a free DML CBD face serum. If you're one of the people who we did your question today, make sure you reach out to me at wetrustdml@gmail.com. We're going to send you, on behalf of the DML Foundation, a free bottle of the face serum. Okay? That's that. That's it for me. Denny, we'll see you at Christmas. Ryan, I'll see you tomorrow with your mother and the wine and talk. That's tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we're doing, that's the other thing too. The wine and talk is now on Fridays because Mary and I are talking about political items until the election is over. So this is it for Denny. He's done. I might not even bring him back on Monday. You may be fired by the way.
Fair enough.
Until the next time, may God bless you, your family, and the United States of America.
And today's Team DML blessing goes to Cheryl McCarthy.
Get the Dennis Michael Lynch podcast every day by subscribing on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and download the DML News app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store for breaking news, merchandise, films, exclusive content, and Team DML.